Welcome to Toffee TV. It is back. The Premier League is back.
But not how we know it.
Well, there you go. It's back. It's already back. But for Everton, it is back on Sunday. The Merseyside Derby, 7 o'clock, in an empty Goodison Park.
That will be adorned with flags and seat coverings, Everton have revealed.
I like the idea of seat coverings. That sounds good. Premier League football is back. Just after over 3 months since we were due to play this fixture, we're back at Goodison Park in what is effectively a meaningless fixture. Now, very much a friendly, and it should be played in that spirit. And
and the result taken in that spirit,
and the result taken,
unless we win.
Listen, it is Thursday that we're recording, the day after Manchester City beat Arsenal, and this could have been a very, very different match preview if Arsenal had managed to win at the Etihad. But they didn't, and so it doesn't matter. Liverpool will become champions in the next week against Crystal Palace. But they can't do it on Sunday, and I think I speak for most Evertonians when I say that is a massive relief.
It is a big relief. You don't need... Listen, we know they're going to win it.
Yeah.
And they deserve to win it and all of that. But we didn't deserve to have it won on our ground. And Carlo, we've said this previously, Carlo Ancelotti didn't need that. As much as there's nothing, it had nothing to do with him, he didn't need that so early into his Everton managerial career. That is something we don't want. And it's been that thing that has been hanging over us a little bit when the Premier League decided to reschedule the games, because we thought we got away with it, didn't we? Previously. But it's done now, and all thoughts moved to the game now without the extra, antics of Liverpool will be celebrating in the Park End car park, which the news, some media outlets ran with last week and all of that. So
just from a serious point of view, though, it is a I think a relief for a lot of people, because in terms of the things that we saw before this coming into this game, talking about this game getting played on a neutral venue and the prospect of fans turning up from both sides, and we heard Joe Anderson sort of a little bit worried about that. I think that sort of not calmed down anyway, but it has, because in the last couple of weeks we've seen with different things going on, with people returning and shops returning back to work, and the demonstrations we've seen, and people on beaches and all kinds of things. You couldn't just, they could have, but you can't just say to football fans, well, you can't do it, but everyone else does. So I think that's been quite relaxed. But now that it's not going to happen, I don't think, I think it is just generally a sigh of relief from everybody, because we can just concentrate on a game of football now.
I think it'll be a sigh of relief for Liverpool as well, to be honest, for the club. Because obviously this was highlighted early on. We've seen like Jurgen Klopp and that saying, just stay at home, watch it at home and celebrate at home or whatever. Because I don't think Liverpool wanted that publicity as well when they're just about to end the 30-year wait. So you're right, it is a side of relief. We can all move on from it. And for us, in terms of getting stick, it's much better. Yeah. It's much better.
We can just take the normal stick now. Listen, it's gonna feel really odd, watching a Merseyside derby at home. It's going to be strange enough. I was funny enough. It made me laugh because I was seeing something on Twitter, and it was from Hans Tours, one of the away support. Well, one of the supporter clubs who goes to home and away. And I was thinking, imagine being someone who goes home and away to every Everton game. This is not only you're not going to be at a game, but this is like going to be the first time in absolutely ages that you'll have had to watch Everton on TV. That's like, like you've got to endure the commentators. You've got to be, is this what it's like to watch Everton on telly? But for all of us, it's going to be a very strange experience, and I suppose it's going to be a strange experience for the players as well.
It's something they're going to have to come to terms with very quickly and get used to it, isn't it? And it's times when the game maybe isn't going the way you want it to. The real test is, can your players dig deep enough to get that momentum going? In the Man City game last night, Gary Neville was talking, and it was after about 35 minutes, and they were all over that. They had all of the ball, but he was like, this is where the crowd would be dictating it. It gets quicker. And funnily enough, just after that, they did start. It was almost like they heard them and decided that, or Pep said, we need to speed it up. And once they got into their rhythm, it probably didn't make that much difference to City, because of that. They're a team we talked about before, the way they play. But for other teams, but then saying that, we watched certainly the first half of Villa and Sheffield United in here, and that was a competitive Premier League game. And even in the City game, there was a sending off, and there was there was two people were stretched off. And
but I mean, that's a big worry, isn't it? I mean, but what I would say about the Villa game is, the Villa Sheffield United game was, it still didn't have the intensity, because it was the first game back. And this is something we saw in Germany as well. The first few games, there wasn't that intensity there, and it's going to be. That's the thing about. I mean, that's the annoying thing about this game being our first game. You're coming up against the champions elect. They're a good football team. They've got that little bit of, well, more than a little bit, but they've got that internal,
got mental toughness
push. Yeah,
is what they've got.
And I think, and you wonder whether, they're playing away, so they're having no crowd's not going to bother them. But for us, you mentioned before about Man City and the tempo, but it's the other way, isn't it? It works the other way, and has so many times for Everton, where the crowd's so important, and almost just wakes the players up at times to tell them this. You're under the cosh here, or you're not playing well. It's the old "come on, get out of bed" shout, isn't it? We've all been there, and that'll be the thing, because what we have seen, certainly, in Germany, and seen it in the opening weekend of La Liga as well, and obviously with Man City, is the good teams do come out, and the levels show, because of the fitness, because of the circumstances. And that's where I think on Sunday Everton are going to have to really be on it. I think, first of all, they've got to make the places homely as they can. So I'm hoping, we get the side and Z cars. And
Everton have confirmed.
Yeah,
only Everton are walking out the tunnel to Z cars. Liverpool are coming in from the other end.
And we need those little things to get the players going a little bit, and because the players need to be on it. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
I can't work out whether it's better to play this game first, or whether in 3 games' time, when it's hard to say, because Liverpool will have probably won the league in 3 games' time, so therefore it's whether they would drop off or not. I don't know whether they would, but is it better to play it now for the fully back up to speed, or is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't know where we are. The big problem for me about Sunday really is just the midfield.
Yeah, let's talk about football. I was trying to stay away from football and matters.
No, it's a match preview, so we have to talk about it. When you're looking at how the two teams are lined up, Liverpool are 4-3-3. We know how they play. They've got 3 workman-like midfield players who can play. I'm not being disrespectful to them, but they've got 3 lads who work hard in the middle. But the width comes from the full-backs, and they've got a front 3 that's as good as anything in the world. So you know what they're going to do, which in some respects can help you, because they do it. That's what they do, and a lot of teams who plan well have had some success against them. And what I mean by success against them is they've been in the game, and then it's took something brilliant from Liverpool, or maybe a mistake to win a game. And so that's okay for your planning. But then on the offensive side of your game, are you good enough? And that's for Everton, because we've got Gomez, it looks like, will be fit. He's been training, so it's Everton, so I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, but he looks like he'll be fit. But it's alongside him, for me, that is the massive worry.
I just think you've got to be competitive, and you've got to be from the start. And I think before the lockdown, we've seen Liverpool have a little bit of a wobble, and obviously they went to Watford, and I think what we've seen in that game was Watford were on them, and they were, every mistake they made count that night, and every chance they had, they basically took. Missed a couple of other chances as well. And I think that's where, that's where we've got to be. We've got to make sure we're on it. And that means no matter what the midfield is, the midfield has to be competitive. So whether that's you send a Beningame out or you send Tom Davis out and have Gomez, in there or whatever, they've got to be competitive. They've got to be snapping at the heels. They've got to make it. They've got to put Liverpool players under pressure, because if you let them play, they'll get the ball into good areas, and I think that's going to be the big task for us on Sunday, to really can we lift ourselves to that level. It's great seeing games behind closed doors and all, training games behind closed doors and all the rest of it. Does that get you there? Do you have the internal drive? Because I think what these games will separate is who's got that little bit extra when there's no crowd there. Have you got it? I think the best teams will. I think we've seen that already with Manchester City. We've seen that with Bayern Munich in Germany. As I said, we've seen it with Real Madrid and Barcelona in their games. You've got to just be at that level straight away.
The X factor, isn't it, with those teams that wins them the games? We've seen, we both watched Dusseldorf and Dortmund last week, and Dusseldorf had a couple of chances to win the game. Dortmund just kept doing what they were doing. He brought Haaland on, and the 95th minute he gets a chance and he wins them the game. And the good sides have done it. Bayern Munich have done it. Like you said, Manchester City kept doing it last night. Are Everton good enough to do that? I don't know. I don't know, because we haven't faced this before.
No.
We've got a manager in who's only been in charge for 12 games, 11 Premier League games. Now, okay, they've won 5 of that 11, so his record's okay. Doing all right. But he's had 3 months to really plan for this game, and 3 months to look at what went right and what went wrong. So the coaching staff. But it's about players at the end of the day. Ancelotti can set us up with a great game plan, and we'll do this and we'll do that. And if those players aren't up to it, it'll fall apart anyway. And also you've got to be ready to come off the bench, because I guarantee you in this game there'll be at least 8 subs.
Well, as you mentioned, we've seen it in the Arsenal game straight away. Players going down quite early, players holding, getting muscle injuries and stuff like that. That's you're right. It will be tough for them. Especially with a team that doesn't really seem to get any injuries. I don't know why that is, but they don't seem to get any injuries. They always seem to be at full strength, and you can imagine they'll be straight out the traps. But and the other thing is the juggling. We've got both teams have got games 3 days later. You're going from one game straight into another game quite quickly, so you're going to want to make changes anyway. And that might be that might be in the 2 games. There might be completely different personnel in some parts of the pitch. So you've got to be clever about that. And obviously that's a big thing for Liverpool, because they've got the ability to bring on more quality as well than we have. But that gives our players opportunities. And who's to say this game doesn't throw up some, funny incidents, or chances. You've got the likes of Anthony Gordon there, who apparently in training has been very, very good. And the reports coming out is, he's one they're looking at now, because certainly without Theo Walcott.
I want to say we've got no one in that right-hand side, have we, who will, other than Richarlison, who would work up and down that line. Walcott, I'm not going to go overboard about how much of a miss he is for Everton, because he's not been very productive in the slightest. But I think when you're looking at that right-hand side, it's either a choice between playing an out-and-out natural winger in someone like Anthony Gordon or Iwobi, who plays out there, or going for Jibril Sidibe in front of Seamus Coleman and going for that little bit extra insurance, if you like, to try and double up on Andy Robertson or...
Yeah, but someone like Anthony Gordon, he's an X-factor, isn't he? He is someone that they won't be aware of. He's a local lad, and it's an opportunity for him in the circumstances. And we've mentioned this on, somehow these games, and the under 23 players that have been training. They've got this they've got the experience, funny enough, of playing at Goodison Park in a empty stadium, or a near empty stadium. They know what that feels like, and you wonder whether that experience,
whether they've got the advantage or not,
will help in these types of games, knowing, you've got to get up to your level without the crowd, whereas most players, who will be playing on that pitch, that they'll have never experienced that unless they've experienced, the under 23s or whatever themselves. So I suppose it's the professionalism comes into it as well. Who can, does it take a crowd to rise you up, or are you at that level every day in training when there isn't anybody about? There's all these factors, and the mad thing is we're not going to know till we play a game. And like we said, the first game is the Merseyside Derby.
And this might be a little bit unfair anyway in terms of getting it. I don't mean unfair as in, weighted wrongly. I mean, unfair to judge really early on. It might take 2 or 3 games till they do become accustomed with that, and then you'll get a better picture of what's what. But what I would say is we've all played in games with no people there, in games of football, and it's about you wanting to win. It's your will to win gets you through. You don't, yes, you're right. 99% of the games these fellas play, they play in a big stadium with big crowds. But then again, when you take the crowd away, it's still the same game of football. You still got to be better than your opponent to win. And the crowd are great, and it's all part of it, and it makes it better. But this is where I essentially, sometimes I disagree when I see people saying football isn't anything without the crowd. I understand what they're getting at, but the basic premise of football is still exactly the same. It's those 11 players versus 11 players on a pitch with goals, trying to win games of football. Yeah, it's enhanced massively when we're there, and we love it better. We're emotionally drawn into it because we're there and we feel that. But for these players, just because the crowd isn't there, their livelihood is still, these are our rivals. I'm playing for my future at this football club because we've got a new manager who hasn't been here that long. Can we do it? And you're right, and some players might thrive with no crowd there. Mightn't be worried about hitting a straight pass, and others mightn't be as good as what they are when they might need the crowd, like you said, to get them up, to kind of wake them up if they're under pressure. But again, someone like Mikel, who visibly can be rocked early on if he makes a mistake because he can hear groans and stuff, might actually be fine with this.
Get rid of it.
He can just deal with it himself if he makes a mistake, and that's what it'll be for some players. So instead of dwelling on any kind of error you do, they might be able to get it out their head immediately because it's focused back on the game. Your manager, they'll hear the coaches' voices and stuff like that. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be an interesting game to see how Everton approach it. Like I said, I think Liverpool will be pressing in your face. They're quick, they're great at pressing, and they've got excellent players up front. For us, it's a little bit of a different thing. Do we try to, we've seen the game against them in the Cup, which obviously they had a young team out, but it's done the same. And we played 4-4-2, and we didn't have a very mobile midfield, and we should have been, the game should have been done at half time. We missed excellent chances. It should have been 3-0. Second half, when Liverpool scored, we couldn't get ourselves back into the game. So how are we going to approach that? Are we going to miss the midfield a little bit and maybe try to turn them a bit and get Van Dijk running the other way and get whoever it is, Gomez or Matip or whoever they played centre-back running the other way, Lovren, with Richarlison and Dom running after them? Or, that's going to be key for me. And the 2 wide areas. Is it Bernard and Iwobi? Is it Anthony Gordon, like you said? Is it Sidibe? Will he look at Bernard and go, great technician, good on the ball, creates things for us, but is he physically good enough to stop, to occupy Trent Alexander-Arnold? Do we need an Anthony Gordon who's quick, who will give Trent Alexander-Arnold something to worry about? So it'll be then decisions, I think, they'll be key for Everton, and it will be interesting because, like you say, it'll feel weird sitting at home watching a Merseyside derby. And sitting at home watching the Merseyside Derby with nobody in the ground as well. It'll be absolutely bonkers, but it's a game of footy, and it's a chance for Everton to get a feel for these last 9 games. And if they were to win, it'd be an incredible feat really, because coming back off it, but what a boost that'd be for the final 8 games. I even think, I always want us to win, but I even think if Everton drew the game, I think it'd be a really good confidence of right, okay, that we've played the best, we've got a decent result. Now can we go and really put some other teams to the sword and pull ourselves back into European recognition? Because we've seen Arsenal drop points last night. Sheffield United dropped 2 points last night. So when Everton win at the weekend, okay, we'll be one of the latest games, one of the last games, but Who knows? It could pull us right back into the mix. It'll be tough, but...
Yeah, it will be tough.
Well, it will, but listen, you have to say, if both teams play at their full level, Liverpool will win because they're a better team, of course, but Merseyside derbies aren't always like that.
Aren't they?
Sort of.
Aren't they?
If Michael Keane or Richarlison score, they become the first Everton player since Andre Kanchelskis to score home and away in the Merseyside derby.
There you go.
24 years, records there to be broken.
I'd rather...
Liverpool have got... you know what? Hang on. I got some... Why not reel off...
just not reel off the negative ones?
Well, I'll just reel off some facts. Why not?
Facts.
But, I mean, we've already done the Liverpool one, haven't we? You know, Everton are winless in 18 matches.
Great. Thanks for that, Baz.
6 out of the last 7 have ended in a draw at Goodison. Mane's 99th minute winner, the only one. Liverpool's longest, unbeaten 21 games against Everton.
Nice one, Baz. Yeah.
It's Everton's first ever competitive match in June in our history.
There you go.
Know that, did you? Liverpool have trailed in their last 3 Premier League games. Haven't gone something like 18 without trailing. Origi has 5 and 7 against Everton. But it's about
really cheered me up with those facts.
Was it anything you didn't know?
I just didn't need to know any of it. Thanks very much.
I don't think that made the slightest bit of difference to the way you think about this game.
No.
But this game throws up the opportunity for someone to give themselves, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin or something to get the win. I mean, should have had a derby winner a couple of years ago. I think now he gets that chance, he takes it. He's more composed in front of goal. It throws up something, doesn't it, for an opportunity for somebody from somewhere to, you know, to win it. What we need is Jordan Pickford at the top of his game. And this we do. Because he's had a lot of stick off Liverpool fans.
Well, maybe the fact that there's no one in the crowd means that he'll stop kicking it to someone in the crowd.
He might be able to... See, for someone like him, he might focus more on the game because there's nothing else going on. Who knows? But it's a big opportunity.
Probably have Jamie Carragher walking behind the goal, shouting stuff at him.
I mean, they see him last night just sat in the stand with
No, they're allowed to. The people at the games.
No.
The media people are just
sat there with his umbrella just having a little
They're allowed to just go where they want.
Mad.
Allowed to literally go where they want in the ground, just around the pitch.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, that's what they want to do. They want to have a little walk around. They can have a little walk around. As long as I'm nowhere near Gary, that's all I care about. There you go. Let us know. Let us know what you think. Number one, are you excited for the return of football? Like, is it your thing? Is this your thing? Let us know. Have you got any confidence that Everton can get something out of this game? Do you think the break has helped us or them? And do you just want these next 9 games done and dusted so we can come back for next season where there'll be no fans either? Let us know your thoughts in the comments on this one. It is the Merseyside derby, but it just doesn't really feel like a Merseyside derby right now. Anyway, it doesn't.
I honestly don't think it'll feel like a Merseyside derby on Sunday. Yeah. You'll watch it, obviously it is, and you'll be into the game because you'll want Everton to win, but it's not going to be the same, is it? No. Because it's just not going to be the same. But
so let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you want more great videos, including daily live videos, join us on Patreon. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. See you later.